Hello, everyone here. I can see many faces. Thank you for being on time. Welcome to our webinar. Hello, hello, Carla. Hello, Diego.
Hello.
Hello, Danae. Many familiar faces. Okay. We're gonna give 2 more minutes so more people can join and we can start, okay? There. Hello. Hi, Andrea. Hi, Carol. Good evening. All right. Okay, let's begin then. Welcome everyone to our webinar. This is our first event, big event, to kick off our partnership with Capacitación USACH, this organismo técnico de la Universidad de Santiago de Chile. We are super excited to announce this partnership of Capacitación USACH and Learning Corporation, because we will be working together this year with teacher training, with teaching English as a foreign language in La Serena and also in other regions in Chile. So we really appreciate you all being here and being part of this kickoff for this partnership that we are super excited about. Today, we have with us also Jorge. He is a representative from Capacitación USACH, and he would like to give you some words as well. So, Jorge, te doy la palabra.
Hola Nicole, hola Anita, hola a todos. Yo no les voy a hablar en inglés, solamente vengo a dar un poco el contexto de lo que estamos realizando. Yo soy jefe de la sede o jefe de proyecto de la sede de la USACH en La Serena, de la FUSACH, la empresa y fundaciones. Hoy estamos celebrando un poco una alianza que tenemos con Learning Corporation. Ahí en el camino me entiendo yo que van a abordar un poco eso, pero sí vengo a darles como la bienvenida, a darles las gracias por estar aquí. Creemos que es una buena instancia y también que, como hablábamos un rato con Nicole, que estén atentos a a las actividades o que se van a realizar durante este año, bajo este mismo contexto, acá en La Serena de manera presencial y a nivel nacional con esta misma iniciativa. Les doy la bienvenida, profesores, los dejo ya con esto ya entrando en lo que se va a hacer y más que nada eso, muchas gracias por estar aquí y aprovechar la instancia. Y con los dejo, Anita, los dejo, era más que nada eso, apoyar lo que estaban haciendo. Muchas gracias.
Thank you, Jorge. Thank you. We're, again, very pleased to have you all here. My name is Nicole Gaona. For those who have not met me yet, I'm the General Manager of Learning Corporation, and I'm very eager and pleased to start this big event. With me, I have Anita Flores. She's going to be the speaker today. Anita Flores is an English teacher from Universidad de Talca. She also holds an MA in teaching English to speakers of other languages from the Greensboro College, USA. She is certified in teaching adult learners, also from Greensboro College. She is a specialist in English teaching methodology from Universidad de Santiago. And she's a teacher trainer here in Learning Corporation. So Anita, the room is yours. You can start whenever you feel comfortable. I don't know, is your audio okay, Anita? I think you're on mute.
See?
There you are.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
I can hear you properly, yes.
Okay. So can I start?
Yes.
Because I just, okay.
Go ahead.
Hello to everyone. Welcome to our webinar tonight, where we are going to share different kind of strategies, how to deal with speaking in class. This webinar, this activity was prepared with to all you teachers from elementary and high school. So please, before starting tonight, as you arrive, could you please go to the chat box and tell us who you are? What's your name? Where are you from? What school are you from? If you're from Santiago, from outside, so tell us who you are. I'm going to give you some seconds to write your name, the school you're from, the city where you're from. So hi, Cynthia from Universidad de La Serena, teacher of English in Diaguitas. Welcome to our webinar. Let's see, who else is here? Carol from Santiago, Georgina from Argentina. Welcome. Carla, living in Santiago. Gonzalo from Colegio Copernicus. Frutillar, welcome. Diego Lagos from Santiago. Silvia, Los Almendros High School, La Florida. Roxana Jaque from Teresiano, Claudia, Los Alpes School. So we are so happy for you and for us because you are here interested at this time of the evening, trying to learn to share more ideas how we can improve speaking strategies in class. Colegio María Reina Inmaculada from Isla de Maipo. Welcome, Fabián Becerra, Madriana Eugenia de Pudahuel, Vanessa Carvajal, Viña del Mar, Janina Buira from Chesterton, Argentina. Very good. Thank you for being here tonight. Valeska from Buin. Okay. We are so happy that so many of you are here. Nacimiento, Colegio Teresiano. Melissa, welcome. Okay. Thank you so much for being here. We're going to start, Alejandra Becerra. Let me see, with our goal tonight. Teachers will be able to acquire a set of dynamic activities. Something is going on. Dynamic activities to be used in the language classroom to enhance English speaking skills. So, in order to start talking about speaking skills, we need to make a review about communicative language teaching, CLT approach. So first of all, I'm going to share with you some principles, the main principles of this teaching approach. It is the language used for day-to-day communication. The target language is a vehicle for classroom communication. The focus is on the use of grammar functions instead of grammar structure. It should be connected with the four main language skills. That is to say, we don't teach only how to speak in English, but also we develop reading comprehension, listening comprehension, and writing. Errors are tolerated as part of the communication process. And here, this is very important to point out that errors can be corrected on the spot just when the mistake interferes with the meaning. Role plays, peer and small group work, and games are essential in practicing real-life communicative situations. So in order to introduce speaking activities into the classroom, into the English classroom, first, we need to begin each day with an interpersonal speaking activity. Require students to use the target language in class. But how we can do this? Let's see. Classroom routines. It's important to use classroom routines. For example, to start a class with a bell ringer or a bell work. What is a bell ringer? The first activity we do in order to start our class, it could be a question, it could be an image, it could be a picture, it could be a word, a concept that we offer the opportunity for students to write, to speak about, to share the ideas with the classmate and then with the teacher. So bell ringer, the first activity in the morning. Challenges. There are different kind of challenges students can do in order to write and then speak in English. Think, pair, and share. We use think, pair, and share to make students think of an idea, then write the answer. It could be a question, it could be a prompt, it could be a concept, and then pair with a classmate, tell the classmate the ideas, and then share with the whole class. We can start a routine with question. It could be a meeting question, like, what are you most excited about today? Different kind of questions based on the content unit you are teaching. It could be about something that is going on in the country, something taken from the news, for example. We can provide different kind of topics for talk for a minute or 1 minute to talk. So here it's important to collect ideas, different kind of topics from students, and then have a list of different topics, interesting topics they can use to talk for a minute. And classroom games. Obviously, elementary school students love playing different games, but also teenagers. They like competing among them. Here we have an example of morning meeting questions. So in this case, all students write, but some speak. How is this possible if we want to promote speaking in the classroom? Because it's essential to respect students' personality. For example, if we have some shy students, we need to respect that maybe they don't want to speak. Others don't want to participate. They don't feel prepared, ready to answer a question in front of all students. So in this case, we offer the opportunity to have volunteers, and we can start with volunteers until they feel more comfortable, safe to take risks, and then we can invite all students to speak. So questions, very easy questions, like give a nice compliment to the person to your right. What is your worry? One worry you have about today? What are you most excited about today? We can write lots of questions to be prepared for these morning meeting questions. How many questions a day? 1 question per day. This is the only we need, 1 question per day. So students think, write, share, and also speak. Classroom language. It is crucial that teachers can promote the use of classroom language, but we can also offer different kind of expressions that mean the same, so we can vary the use of language. For example, we have thank you very much. That is very typical to say thank you very much. What about thank you tons? You are a lifesaver. Thanks a bunch. Cheers. Oh, you're welcome. Instead of you're welcome, what about saying, sure, of course, anytime, glad to help, no worries, no problem. Or what about when we ask students in the morning, how are you today? And everyone says, fine, thank you. And the kid is feeling terrible. Why don't we offer different kind of expressions so they can really say how they are? I'm fantastic. Never better. Can't complain. I'm tired. I'm sick. Oh, I'm sleepy. Not too bad. So students can use different kind of expressions to use the language orally. Or it's very typical to hear, for example, okay, are you ready? Did you finish? No. Just use 3 different expressions to say no. Not yet. That is more cool. That is cool. Hold on, please. Almost done. Students, believe me, feel better, feel cool when they can use the language in different kind of interactions in the classroom. So how we can teach this vocabulary? Well, you can present it, you can use it, you can practice it, practice the vocabulary with them, the expressions with them, but also you can label your classroom with different kind of posters, pictures, expressions they can use in the classroom. But Miss Anita, I don't have my own classroom. What can I do? Okay, prepare a slide with the classroom rules, maybe with the most typical question they can use in class. May I go to the toilet? How do you say goma in English, etc. Use a slide, and that is going to be the first slide you're going to use every single class, with the classroom language, with the classroom rules and expectations, and the language you want them to know and use in your class. Games, I talk about games. Even teenagers love competing. What about having 15 minutes once a week to play games, especially this activity for Friday evening or Friday afternoon, the last class of the week? They are tired. The only thing they want to do is to go home, as same as you. So prepare different kind of questions, like things questions. They are interesting, they are fun, they can sit on the floor, or they can make groups and then answer these questions, like things about Superman that makes Batman jealous. Things you say you will never do it again, but always do. Things you wish you could forget about last year, and so on. You can ask students to write a question, 2, 3 questions, and so you can collect all the questions and prepare these kind of cards, and you can play games with them. They share, they speak English, they use their language, and also they have fun. A good activity for Friday, last class of the week. So challenge your students. As I told you before, they like competing, and Mission Impossible is one of those activities they're going to like to do. Use it on Fridays or once a week, or when they are really loud, or when they are not concentrated on task, or when they are really misbehaving. So they have 3 minutes, 28 seconds to solve a Mission Impossible. This is a group activity for 4 or 5 students per group. They have 3 minutes and 28 seconds to solve it. Why 3 minutes and 28 seconds? Because that is the Mission Impossible movie soundtrack lasts 3 minutes and 28. So the music is very engaging. They become more excited when they are doing this activity. And I'm going to tell you how it sounds. First, three minutes, 28 seconds to solve a challenge. What challenge? For example, you prepare an envelope with some instructions related to the content unit of the week. Imagine we are describing people's appearance and personality. So we put this instruction card into an envelope, which is going to be top secret. One envelope with instruction per group. So your team will have 3 minutes and 28 seconds to solve this challenge. Describe Harry Potter's appearance and personality in 3 complete sentences. Use at least 6 different adjectives. A secret agent will hand in the mission to the teacher when completed. Another agent will report the mission orally. So as I said before, don't push students to speak if they don't want to, because it's not easy to speak English in front of everybody. So give the opportunity to that volunteer or that person that the team chose to be the secret agent in charge of reporting the mission orally. Then the next week, you can give the opportunity to another one in the group, and then so on. So you can use it every time they're misbehaving or very talkative, or at the end of the week, 3 minutes, 28 seconds to read, to work collaboratively, to write, and then to speak. This is Mission Impossible. What about using grammar? I know that there are many teachers loving teaching grammar structure. And there are still many teachers using written tests to assess grammar structures and vocabulary. But look at this. On the left side, we have the grammar structure, how we can write, how we can use like, love, hate, enjoy, prefer correctly, accurately. So using a noun, for example, I like hamburgers, or using an IG form like I like dancing. And then we prepare handouts to ask students to complete with the correct form, with the correct form of the verb like, love, hate, enjoy, prefer. And then we test them with a written test. But that is just grammar structure. What about using grammar as a function? That is to say, using grammar structure to produce everyday English, to produce in a written or in an oral way. For example, I really like ice cream. My favorite flavor is chocolate and cream. I enjoy cooking. I cook dinner every night. I really hate running. I always get exhausted. I don't like winter at all. I prefer summertime, etc. So we can use the same grammar structure in order to express the preferences, likes and dislikes. So instead of using grammar structure, we invite you to use grammar functions to promote speaking in the classroom. Promote peer and small group work. It is better when two people are working together because they can share ideas, they can help each other, they feel more comfortable to use the language, even if they don't know the English concept. They can use Spanglish, and it is okay when they are trying and taking risk in the language classroom. Small groups, 3-4 people are better than bigger groups. I know that we have 45 students per class in Chile, and most of the time we create like 8 or 9 groups of 5 people, or maybe groups of 6 people, because there are so many students in the classroom. But you know what? When there are so many students in a group, some of them work, some of them speak, and the other ones don't try. So we want them to try, to use the language, to use the prompts you modeled, the expressions you provided. So peer work and small group work is more beneficial for students. Here we have an activity which is specially for to work with groups, small groups or pairs. But if you have 45 students per class, maybe 4 students per group is going to be okay. Carousel Gala is a collaborative work through which students are going to read, are going to write, and also they're going to use the spoken language to present the results of their work. So first, it is useful at the end of the unit of study. For example, we're going to think of health issues, health problems. So we're going to teach vocabulary expressions and related to health, symptoms, We're going to provide questions like, what's wrong with you? How do you feel today? Or we're going to a role play situation related to doctor's office. But this activity is a way to collect all that information while walking around like a carousel, walking around the classroom. So you need to hang sheets of chart paper around the room for students to post highlights for a review of a recent unit of study. You need to write an important heading from the study on each chart paper. For example, habits to start, habits to quit, or food you think is healthy for your body, etc. Place a dark writing marker at each chart. Divide the class into small groups of 3 or 4. Assign each small group to a chart. Team members share ideas, write what they know about that topic. Obviously, they write on the poster. Then, teachers give a sign-off for the groups to move to the next chart. So that is the carousel. Tell the new groups to read the ideas from the last group and add more information. Continue to move the groups to each chart around the carousel. Assign each group one chart. They read the information that everybody wrote, share, and select their favorite information on the poster. Finally, the group together create a poster or an anchor chart and present this information in front of the class. It is very good for a summative or as a review before finishing the unit, before being tested. And at the results, you're going to have different posters and with the favorite information, the most important information, every single group selected from the posters. Carousel Gala. Find someone who. This is a very well-known activity. We can call it find someone who, find somebody who. And we prepare a document that should include a list of activities that people do in their lives. You can use it with different purposes depending on your content unit. For example, if we are describing what people are wearing, so we can use the example we have here. So find someone who is wearing glasses in the classroom. Find someone who is wearing blue socks or wearing something pink or wearing a watch, etc. But what about if we come back to the health problem unit? Ask questions like, have you ever been sick? Have you ever visited a doctor? Have you been to the dentist's office? So you can adapt the activity depending on the language level, the number of students, the content units, the vocabulary you would like to review, etc. Below, write a series of activities and actions that students will have to check off when they do the discussion task. Here we have an example. Find someone who watched a movie last night, drinks coffee in the morning, likes spicy food, is wearing jeans today, has an older brother, etc. You can prepare, find someone who, for many different reasons, in order to practice language structures, in order to speak, you can, after that, searching the people, find someone who, you can ask students to pair and compare answers, then write ideas, and then produce those ideas orally. You can customize the difficulty based on your students' levels and preferences. The popsicle topics activity. I prepared some popsicles. I don't know if you can see them here. it says sports, bands, friends, and fast food. You can have as many popsicle topics as you can have. For example, these are popsicles. We have 5, 6 different colors. These are cheap. You can buy them for less than 1,000 pesos. So you can use them to write as many topics as you want. You can also ask your students to provide ideas to write on the popsicles. So get a bunch of cheap wooden popsicles to write on. Use as many as you want, depending on the class size. On every side of the popsicle, write a general topic that would be engaging for group discussion. What about if you don't have popsicles? You can have paper stripes like this. Best place to go on vacation. You can have many of them and use them in class. You can write down topics like movies, music, travel destinations, favorite restaurants are very popular with almost any class level or age group. This is a good activity to promote speaking in class, using the vocabulary you have taught and the expressions and the content you have taught in class. Speed dating. It requires you to find out as much as you can about a person in 5 minutes. That's why it's speed dating. You're going to date a classmate. You're going to ask questions about their personal life while being polite, friendly, and interesting. Doing this activity gives your students practice with making small talk and asking personal questions. Also, you can change the questions depending on your content unit. If you look at the picture on the right side, students are showing different kind of characters. So depending on the reading, for example, you are teaching how to write a biography and you're learning about different famous people from art, from science. They can pick a person and they can be that person, learn information about that person's biography and use that information when speed dating. So we can ask questions about that character. Depending on the language level, you can also adapt this activity. So you have to give your students a couple of minutes to think of possible questions they could ask. Then pair up the students and give them 5 minutes to talk to each other. After 5 minutes, clap your hands or sound a buzzer, and students move to face another classmate and so on. So this is an activity to practice target language. If you prepare for biographies, that is a good idea to practice the use of past tense, present perfects, in order to talk about, remember, always is a grammar function, in order to talk about famous people or famous characters, okay? So this is speed dating. Here we have another one, also to be prepared to work in groups. This is news reporter. This activity incorporates authentic materials and requires the students to narrate a story. So in order to prepare this activity, your students need to watch the news or read a local newspaper. So you can bring different kind of news from the local newspaper. So students in groups of 2 or 3 or 4, they can pick some of these news. In groups, they must decide on a few stories they want to report on and write down notes on their story. In class, each group must present their news stories to the class. Obviously, this is a very good activity to support narrative text. So if you ask your students to read stories, to watch a story, to listen to stories, and they learn about narrative text or fables and legends, different kind of narrative text, you can use this activity in order to present their news stories to the class. It could take you like a week to prepare this activity, depending on the level of your students. So let's come back again to functional grammar. For me, it's very, very important to let you know that it doesn't mean we don't need to teach grammar. We must teach grammar structures, but we don't have to be stuck on grammar structure, but to move on to the communicative part of the language. So we can teach the present simple in order to talk about, for example, our daily routine, to describe what we do every single day, to talk about our hobbies, to write about our free time activities, to talk about habits, to write about someone's daily routine. Sorry. It is also essential to model language stems. So remember, we were talking about functional grammar, and also we have to talk about modeling. The I do, we do, you do model to practice structures, to practice different kind of expressions, and how to use the language in context is essential. So when we ask students, for example, to give opinions, how we expect them to give opinions, we have to provide those language stems, and then we have to model the language stems, practice. So I present it, I model it, I explain it, then we practice together. I practice this language stems with my students. And then when they are ready, they can use the language freely, autonomously. For example, here we have 4 different stems. I believe the main idea of paragraph 1 is about, etc., etc. The main conflict introduced in the selection is, the theme of the selection is, I believe a trait that best describes this character is because. So we provide the language we want students to use to express opinions, to describe, to talk about, to write about. Remember, I present, I do, I provide the language stem, I model it, then we do it. I practice with my students, and then they do it. So now I would like to invite you to go and scan this QR code. Here we have a Padlet with questions. With one question, I want you to answer. So let me see. I'm going to click on this, and while you I'm trying, but I can't. Let me see. So while you're answering the question, if you have any question, you can type it on the chat. Let me see.
I can help you out, Anita. I will share the Padlet for them, okay?
Okay. So all the activities I presented today are not only for speaking, but they are related to different kind of skills. Like we can work in groups, so we can take roles, we can help each other, we can do some projects, we can use the language in context, we can use the activity for a review of your content unit, we can use it for assessment, or just for practicing, in order to manage the classroom, in order to provide fun in the classroom through games, for example. So,
Give me a second.
okay.
I left
Nicole is going to...
Yes, I left the link on the chat so you can access the Padlet, and I will show it now. There, can you see it there?
There you go. What's your takeaway from tonight's webinar? What activity you think you can be able to use it in your classroom in order to promote speaking among your students? What activity you found interesting to use it with your teenagers or with your elementary school students? How you can... All right. So Carolina Ramirez is saying that she thinks that her students are not very competitive. So she has to give them some motivation to maybe play games. You can try. You can try using one of those activities, one of those games. Okay. All these activities, you can use them and you can adapt them. That is the idea. As teachers, we are great at adapting different kind of materials and activities, depending on our students' language levels and the number of students.
You can also leave your questions in there to maybe some lesson, some group of students that you don't know how to get them to talk in your lesson. Just leave your question there and Anita will help you out.
Yes. Valentina feels like she can do anything in the classroom and she loves the Mission Impossible. Yes, I'm having plan A, B, C, D. Yeah, we always, we teachers need to try all kind of activities. Think of our students' needs. Think of our students' background. Know our students before preparing activities. If they are always very shy, maybe prepare a different activities. The carousel gala is a good one. Yes, Mission Impossible. I will surely try it with my class as they love to solve puzzles and riddles. Yes. Says, can you recommend an activity that could work with elementary school that could improve their interest on speaking and participate? Yeah, for example, you can start with routines, daily routines. When they are used to answering questions or maybe talking about something in time, Mission Impossible, in time they start writing and talking a little bit more. I think routines, but there's one requirement: be consistent. If you introduce a routine to your classroom, do it every single day. So it's not going to work if you don't do it like that. I personally love Mission Impossible. I will surely try it in my class. Amazing ideas. I use game in the classroom and surely will try more than one of these you share, starting with Mission Impossible. Thanks for all the ideas you have given us. They are simply to implement and quite interesting for our students. I love the strategies to how to adapt them for my students. I've been struggling with speaking in specific groups. This webinar gave me a lot of possible ways to achieve self-confidence in my students. Thank you for the ideas. I have used some of them. I like the Mission Impossible. They are all useful strategies. My students' biggest weakness is the target language. I teach them science, and despite the fact they want to participate and give their opinions in Spanish, I try to encourage them to use English. I'm definitely trying the morning questions. I would say that speed dating is actually pretty useful. It can work a lot with teenagers that doesn't like to talk a lot because it's something way related to their age. They are interested in meeting other people. Yeah, I agree with you. My main takeaway is that there still are activities that I can continue to learn and implement in the classroom, and that those activities can go beyond grammar structures while also not ignoring them. Yes. In my case, my students live in a difficult context and they are difficult to motivate, but I'm going to try with some activities. Thanks for the ideas. As far as I'm concerned, popsicle topics activity is an interesting activity. You can use it in all levels. And you don't need many resources to implement it. Could you please repeat how to model language stems? Yes, of course. We'll be able to have a copy of the activities you share with us today. Nicole, what do you think? Yes.
Sure, absolutely.
Yes. The I do, we do, you do method is this is the teaching method that is related to practice, how we present the content. I do as a teacher, I have 15-20 minutes to introduce a new content and language. Remember, we don't teach only content, but also language. So grammar, for example, past simple, but we also present the way we're going to use that grammar structure to describe past events, to talk about life experiences. That is the speaking part that produces the communicative part of the language. So I do my part as a teacher. I present the structure, I present the model, I give examples, I introduce a STEM, like, for example, I believe that, I reckon that, I think that, I dare to say that, different ways to give opinions. I present the structure, I present the STEM, and I practice with them how to pronounce it, how to use it in context, and then we practice together. We do. I practice with my students. Repeat after me. I give opinions about this and this and that. I provide the prompts to practice. So we do together. And when they are ready, when I'm sure they can do it by themselves, I say, now you do. So here is, I don't know, a picture or the name of a band, the kind of food, a singer, an actor, a movie. Now you give me your opinion, write it down, and then say it orally. That is, I do, we do, you do, and the way we can introduce language stems and practice and model the language stems to be used. I have, let me see. I really struggle with the creation of activities. Could we have, yes.
Yes, we have the recording of the webinar and we will upload it to our YouTube channel. So make sure to check that out later because it's going to be uploaded there. And you also can give a look at other videos that we have in that.
Mm-hmm.
Very welcome
Yes.
to that. Okay. Shall
It
we?
says I am very happy with the strategies. I hope it works with my Spanish talkative students. Yes. So I would like to say something about that. I really love that comment because they use Spanish until we teachers provide different kind of classroom language. If we provide stems, they start using stems to say something. But if we don't provide models, we don't provide stems, we don't provide expressions, they continue speaking in Spanish. So the use of language, the classroom language and language stems are crucial in promoting the use of English in the classroom. There's somebody, I don't have access, I think, to the chat. Let me see. I use the Speak for a Minute activity with my university students at the beginning of the semester. They write an interest they have, and then during the weekly lessons, we take a piece of paper at random, and they have to talk about it for a minute. Then their classmates ask them questions, and it works perfectly. Yes, when you collect ideas from students, they feel more keen on participating because they know that at some point of the year, the question, the idea they provided is going to pop up. Yes. Is there any other comment here? Okay, so Nicole, I think it's your turn.
Anita, I know you have more ideas, right? Way
Yes,
more
many.
ideas. And yeah, so we wanted to, well, first give the warm welcome to USACH Capacita, right? To our new partnership. But we also would like to invite you all to know a little bit more about these strategies. If you are super interested in getting to know more strategies, more teaching tools, more ideas to develop communicative competence with your students, we would like to invite you all to be part of our Diplomado or certificate on teaching strategies to teach English as a foreign language, estrategias metodológicas para la enseñanza de inglés como herramienta comunicativa integral. In this diploma, you will give a look at all the levels. So if you are a recent teacher who graduated being a teacher for high school education and you're missing some tools for preschool students, for primary education, here is your opportunity to give a look at it. In that QR code, you can access to the program. You can give a look at it. And Anita, I'm sure that you also would like to invite them all because you are one of the methodologies that are in charge of this diploma.
Yes, I would like to invite you because this is just some of the activities we can use to develop and foster speaking in class. Also, we're going to have modules related to reading comprehension strategies. That is another branch of this diploma. So I would like to invite you. First of all, thank you for being here. I'm so sure and I would like to know that in the future, you're going to use one of these strategies taught today, but I would like to invite you to participate in this diploma, be part of those teachers who want to make a difference in the classroom. Remember that it's not the classroom itself, but the teacher who makes the difference. I was talking this morning with a teacher from Puerto Montt, and I talked to him and I said, there are so many native speakers, but they don't know how to teach. So they can have a wonderful place, but if they don't know how to teach, it doesn't matter if he or she is a native speaker. We are bilingual. We know how to teach our students. So we invite you to attend to this diploma and learn all these kind of strategies to develop different skills, especially speaking in your classroom.
Thank you, Anita. This diploma is certified by Learning Corporation and together with Capacitación USACH. It's our first big kickoff for the partnership, and there is so much to come. So make sure, as Jorge said at the beginning, to follow our social media, to give a look at our posts, and we will be announcing other events to come. So we'll be waiting you there. And we also thank everyone for being here. It's been a pleasure to be with you tonight. We hope this was very useful for you. There are many techniques that you can apply tomorrow with your students. So thank you very much, everyone. Thank you, Anita. That was a wonderful presentation.
Thank you.
And we hope to see you all soon at another time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Have a good one. Bye-bye. Here. Bye. See you next time.